appreciate that. Definitely. I'll make
I've been sipping on ricotta, gon' pop me a bottle, pour me up a drink. Yeah, she been sipping on ricotta, gon' pour her a bottle, pour her up a drink, pour us up a drink. A ricotta, we gon' have a drink. A ricotta, everybody drinking. Ricotta, get you some ricotta. Oh, I've been sipping on ricotta. I've been sipping on ricotta. I've been sipping on ricotta. Ricotta or more. Drink like a boss.
Yo, we here, we live, we lit. Y'all know what the fuck going on, man. We are in the building right now. Give me 1 second to figure this shit out. This is coming off of which one of these? I don't know which one of these. You know, it's two Nemos apps over here.
So, we're trying some new shit, y'all. Bear with us.
New technology.
New technology. My nigga is controlling the camera from his phone right now.
So yeah, man, this is episode 120 of the Slicktalk with Scalez podcast, man, live from Podcast City inside of the compound. You know what the fuck going on. This episode is titled Is You Geeked Up? Is the name of this episode. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm Geeked Up. You know what I mean? Because we got the homie from Geek Set, one half of Streets and Young Deuces in the building, the homie Rudy Strong. Say what up to the people, please.
Hey, what up, everybody?
Take your mask
Had to
off.
want to throw the promo out, man. Shout out to Cardi, man, getting our geek line set up, man. But man, what up, everybody? Shit, man.
We in the building. Can y'all hear us loud and clear? Let me know what's going on, if we sounding good or what's going on.
Good.
But like I said, man, we are back. We are live. We are lit. It is Fat Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? March 1st.
Is it Fat Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Fat Tuesday. That's why people at the bars and shit drunk already. It's Fat Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So
Kick off the Women's History Month.
yeah, kick off Women History Month. You know what I mean? So we gonna do this
Is it
shit.
Women's History Month or just Women's Month?
I think it's Women's History
Yeah,
Month.
I believe
Actually,
it's
I
Women's
think
History
Women's
Month.
Month is a different month. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is Women's History Month right here. You know what I mean? So, like we always do about this time, y'all know who in the building with me as usual. My dog Don holding me down. Say what up to the people.
What up, people? The Honorable Elohim Amir Shabazz Muhammad in the house. If I am man and man is God, then am I not man or am I not God in the flesh?
So I said
Am I
one
not?
fish, two fish,
Red
fish,
blue
blue
fish,
Knick-knack,
paddywhack. Give a dog a bone.
2000
party. Oops. Over out of time. My bacon is smelling fine. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? That's for the brothers right there, for the gods and the earth, for the gods and the earth. You know what I'm saying? If you're just tuning in, like I said, please share this shit everywhere you can.
Yep.
Shout out to my Twitter audience, my YouTube people was popping with y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We everywhere, man, trying to do this shit big time. You know what I mean? So we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna get right into it. It was HBCU night at the Bucks game last night. I want to salute my Bucks on that. Me being an HBCU alum myself.
So that's one of my biggest regrets. I say it all the time that I didn't go to a HBCU.
Man, you know how many Milwaukee people I hear that from, bro?
You know how many
all
scholarships
the
I
time,
was
bro.
offered for HBCU?
All the time, bro. I hear that shit all the time.
I ain't want to go play in the marching band.
Duh. If I
And
would
marching bands run black colleges.
man, they
the coolest niggas on campus. That's how Drumline was shot at Morris Brown while I was there. They shot that motherfucking movie while I was there. You know
Oh,
what I'm
word?
saying? Yeah, they moved
that's
us off
dope.
campus, made them niggas live in the dorms so they could get the full band
makes
college,
sense.
you know what I mean, experience and shit. So yeah, like Don, if you'd have went to HBCU for band, you'd have been that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Especially in Atlanta, in the South. You know what I mean? Like in the South, period.
The
like,
South in general, like bands, like just you know what I'm saying, college life, fraternities, HBCUs, like the South really be doing it. Like you know what I'm saying. That's when you see the heritage of it and everything that comes with it, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, you know what I'm saying, the connections, the things that people do, the representation. It's everything that we now, the way we move, like the way that a lot of Black people move in business and the mindset that we have. HBCUs had that way back then. So it's like, damn, man, I wish I would have bought into it at that time. But you know,
yeah, man. You know, I was first year All-State saxophone player, so
I didn't know that.
I
shit,
got offered.
Nigga, I'm learning so much about niggas today, dog.
Like, I'm getting the backstory on everybody.
Damn,
right now,
dog.
you know
Like, I need to start deep diving with my niggas, dog.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Like what y'all niggas on, dog?
Oh, you thought the music just was, just came.
Yeah,
out of
Ken.
nowhere?
I wish I was there when I seen that, but I was able to watch it on TV, and some of my HBCU alum was in the building, so they got to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to salute the Bucks and the NBA. They gave out scholarships last night. I think 2 scholarships were given out to a young man and a young girl that if they wanted, they could only be used at HBCUs. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's dope that Chris Paul, you know what I mean, the Players Association, because he's the one that's leading this HBCU movement that they got going on. He's the one that's encouraging niggas to come out of high school and go to HBCUs instead of going to Indiana and UConn and all this shit.
And
why not go to a HBCU?
And he still had it
in football.
Yeah, and he
He's
still
head of the Players Association.
So yeah, that's dope. That you know what I'm saying. Like I said, that's the thing. You gotta, you know what I'm saying. You gotta use your power. You know what I'm saying, for good. You know what I'm saying. Once you get into a position where you can do things and you can make changes, like them, the type of changes that you want to see.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying.
Absolutely, bro.
So that is dope, man.
We got to get a lot more prominent coaches at HBCUs. That's what's working in college football right now.
Well, but remember that just legit just started by.
But I just seen the other day, bro. It's about 5 ex-NBA niggas coaching HBCUs right now. I think Mitch Richmond is somewhere coaching. It was somebody else. I seen it was like during Black History Month, they had like a 5 panel, like a picture of 5 cats, and they all coaching at HBCUs right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. I think that, you know what I mean? I think that's a very, very good look. You know what I mean? So,
and then it helps that like a lot of the star players that are being drafted or that like coming out of high school, they make it a point to say that they want to
go to HBCUs.
You know what I'm saying? Like I love the change, man, because it's like, yo, that's what we needed from all fronts.
Like you even take a cat like LeBron's son. I mean, he's probably NBA bound, but if they wouldn't have changed the ruling, he still would have had to go to college. Me and Don was saying last year, like, why not go to a HBCU? You going to the NBA anyway. You LeBron James' son. It ain't like you ain't gonna get drafted because you went to Southern.
Well, he definitely gonna get drafted.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
exactly. You know,
after Bron's statement.
After Bron's statement,
that's a guarantee.
You know what I mean?
And I don't even blame him, dog. Like, fam, people be trying to come at Bron for the nepotism that he does, but I'm like, fam, white folks been doing that. Like they've been doing that
type of shit.
They've been doing that from.
I mean, that's why they still control the world.
Yeah, so like shit. And
there's nothing wrong with it to me. I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. played with his dad. If people don't know history, baseball, Ken Griffey. In the 90s, he played with his dad for the Seattle Mariners. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's nothing wrong with LeBron trying to achieve feats in his field that nobody else has ever done or has never been done before. What's wrong with that?
Not at all, dog.
You know what I'm saying? His team is so trash. They keep talking shit about him because he's chasing Kareem's record. But I mean, what else the fuck is he supposed to do right now?
This season is done.
Yeah,
like, fuck it. If I'm not gonna win a championship, well, fuck it. Let me break some records.
Exactly.
You know?
The Westbrook experiment didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm still shocked. Like with his basketball IQ,
here we are.
With his basketball IQ, I'm surprised that he thought that would work.
So the plan, I think LeBron's plan was, when I'm tired,
this dude
Westbrook
can
run around like a
drive y'all crazy.
I mean, he can't. I mean, he can still do that, but his output is not efficient. And so it's like, you know, it's like, okay, yes, I can get somebody that you can get anybody who got high energy to do it, but you also want to win. I was just surprised at that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not on court. I'm a LeBron hater on court.
On court, yeah, me too.
Everything out the court.
Off the court, he's one of my favorite.
One of my favorite people. Yeah. Now, again, even though I like I said, I'm not a fan of his on court. I do respect his basketball IQ.
Facts.
And so that's why I guess that's the.
But in my opinion, he's never been really good at GM. People
he
forget
definitely
about that
had.
last
He
year in
definitely
Cleveland.
had. Yeah, he
And
definitely
that team he tried to put together with all his homeboys. That shit didn't work either. Remember, D-Wade was there for a week. Derrick Rose was there for 2 days. You know what I mean? He just had niggas flying in, just trying shit.
He got Michael Jordan syndrome.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a great player, and great players.
Yeah, because Jordan sucks.
But that's what we learned about Jordan is that as much as we hate Jerry Krause, he put those Bulls teams together.
Michael because Jordan, you need a nerd up there.
Yeah.
You need somebody that can see from like step back and see.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Like,
but that's why Daryl Morey is what he is. You know, he step back, he go all numbers.
Yeah,
all numbers. But this dude gives me the best chance to win because he does X, Y, and Z well. Yeah. And I don't give a fuck if he don't fit. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He sees the numbers and he GMs like Billy Bean GM to baseball. You know what I mean? It's all numbers.
Well, that's why point guards end up being the best coaches.
Yeah.
Because like as a point guard, as an efficient point guard, you got to be able to see everything on the court. So when you step back as a coach, you still got that vision. You know what I'm saying? So that would make it dope right there.
Facts. Yeah. So what do y'all make of this? Well, one thing I want to give up some good news. Charges have been filed in the death of Katie. They got killed at Brownstone 2 weeks ago. So charges have been filed on the young man who did it. They got him on video. His girlfriend also confessed to the police. She was a witness. She was there. So I don't know how long he thinks he's going to be on the run, but your cake is cooked, my brother, baked or whatever. Your cake is baked, my nigga. It's Damo something. I forgot the last name. Yeah, he's 22 years old. They had a Sussex address on him. You know what I mean? But he was 22 years old. Huh? He wasn't a rapper. No, he wasn't a rapper.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Man.
Also in that, what y'all think about the young man dying at the fifth district?
I don't think I heard about that.
You didn't hear about that? So last week, a young man died in custody.
Yeah.
At the 5th district. And his
I did. Okay,
his homeboy went and shot up.
I thought that was his brother. That was his
homeboy. It came out today that that's just his friend.
Okay, all right.
Hey, I want my friends to rock me like that.
Yo, that
shit, they sliding harder than Dirk is for Vaughn.
Man.
Shit. On what though? Yeah, no, for real though. Shit, he slid for real. Only thing I didn't like about it is what if KB was in there paying the parking ticket?
Right.
You know what I mean? I think this old lady on the news, I felt bad for her because she was in there when it happened. She was in there like getting her overnight parking pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the only part of it where I was like,
I mean, like I said, I get that as a role for him. In hindsight, like looking at the whole situation, not the best thing to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? I get the sentiment. I get where he's coming from.
Since you geek said, what did Iron Man say? Not a good plan.
Not a good plan.
Not a good plan at all.
Not a good plan at all.
Not a good plan at all. Are you into Euphoria?
Yeah, of course.
You watch Euphoria?
Man,
you fucked with the finale?
I did, dog, bro. Zendaya and her team, because that's her team that put that show together. And the one thing, so we was talking about this on Geek Set, and I was like, bro, I love the black directors, people that are, because like they're putting, like we're seeing a lot of artistic stuff outside of like, you know what I'm saying, just like, oh, we got a show, right? It's like when you watch Euphoria, or when you watch even like go back and watch Atlanta, you watch Insecure, you watch all these shows that are black ran, and the artistic elements that they take with directing, with their storytelling and everything like that, it's something that is like, yo, like we are in our bag with this creativity stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And
we always have been.
Yeah, we always have been. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? We getting that shot to like show run.
Because like we're getting the chance to show run and production run.
Look at Bel Air, how Bel Air shot, same thing.
Thank Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah. Jordan Peele kicked it wide open.
Jordan Peele, the dude from Moonlight.
The reason why
Donald
Glover, you know what I'm saying? But even if you go back like behind, like even with the writing, Misha Green was the one that penned all of Lovecraft Country. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying? You start seeing
Courtney
stuff like
Kemp
that
with the Power Universe.
Yeah, with the Power Universe. And that's the one thing I'm loving. I'm like, yo, if you think like we get an opportunity to do stuff again. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to that white people been doing this whole time.
Forgetting about the queen now, right?
Who?
Motherfucker from Scandal.
Oh damn!
Yeah, what's her name?
Why can't I think of her name? But yeah, the one that she ran up the bag on them because they tried.
What's her name?
Yeah, because they tried to front on her, and she ended up going to Netflix. Like, all right, fuck it, y'all ain't gonna give it the bag.
Yeah, exactly.
And damn, I'm mad I don't remember her name because I want to put respect on her name because yeah, she definitely deserves it. You know what I'm saying?
She's the queen.
Queen
Ran ABC.
Man, ran it. Cause she man, and so it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I said that I was like, I want us to have that opportunity to be able to do all of that. Like everything doesn't have to be based in Shonda Rhimes. Thank you, Duke. Yeah. Everything doesn't have to be everything doesn't have to be
everyday media. What's that?
In trauma, right?
No, I
know what I'm saying? Like I love the fact that like we could do a sci-fi show, we could do, you know what I'm saying, this random show. And
I seen a nigga make a rant yesterday saying that he felt that we was gassing Bel Air, and he said it was nothing but typical black television. It's stereotypical black television. They took a whole wholesome show and turned it into typical today's black television.
Now, see, that's what people think. So here's where I've been debating with so many people about Bel Air because they want to say that it's going to be typical, right? Yeah. But if you look at the show and the core elements of it, right? Like I like that if Jeffrey's the one that doing something, right? He's the one, right? You know what I'm saying? Because like if you think about the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Uncle Phil's role in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air was always to show Will how to be a better man. Yeah. But Will's role to Uncle Phil was always to have him touch back to his roots because he got so far back from it, right? So I love the fact that in this show, the one thing that is a flaw against Uncle Phil's character is he did something to get Will out of a bad situation. Yeah. So because I told him, I said, if it turns out that Uncle Phil is like this kingpin. Then I'm agree with bro who said that because I don't want that because I don't want Uncle Phil to be fucking Ghost. But if that is the one decision that he made, and if everything else is his moral compass trying to get back to the family. Now Jeffrey, I'm okay with Jeffrey being that. Because
but I believe in this day and age, if you're a multi-millionaire black man,
got somebody
in 2021, you gotta have a hitter like Jeffrey.
You got somebody.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, they tried to make Phil and Jeffrey a little, you know what I mean?
Well, Phil was
in the real character,
in real life. Yeah. But see, Jeffrey, that's why they tell you right off the rip, he's the house handler. Mm-hmm. They told he's
house
not
manager.
He's not a butler. And if you look up a house manager, they just pretty much make sure that the house functions.
I love the way they flip Jazz character.
I love the way they flip everybody.
I think all the shit is dope.
They gave Hillary a voice.
Hillary is the epitome of reimagining.
Oh yeah.
Right? That she's no longer the ditzy.
Bro, I broke it down. If you think about Hillary's character, as much as I love the original Hillary, even when she ended up working at the news station, she wasn't because she was a meteorologist. Remember, she was at the station looking for Will or something like that, and they hired her. Right? So they never really gave her a moment. Like remember when Ashley stood up to the family? That was a moment. Like damn, the little girl standing up. Hillary never really had that moment in the show of standing like something that you rooted for outside of just you know what I'm saying, she's fashionable. Yeah, she's living on her own. But this Hillary, they gave her a purpose, they gave her a voice. You know what I'm saying? The fact that she stood up against a company who tried to change her cooking style, it's stuff like that I'm like, yo, this is not a typical black show. It's a reimagining. They add in real elements, and that's what I said. People keep on trying to compare these characters to the old characters, and I'm like, bro, look up the definition of reimagine. It's the namesake is the base.
To me, I felt like they played on us.
Yeah,
it's like if all these characters had doppelgangers.
Yeah,
that's what this is like. Yeah. And it was like I don't want to say the bad, but just like the total opposite of what their regular.
Yeah,
the shell that they wear every day. You know,
break it down. So now I'm gonna break it down to some nerd shit. Teen Titans was a serious ass show.
Yeah.
Teen Titan Go, one of the ones that the kids watch, all these characters, they're not like the characters that you see in the original Teen Titans show. It's a reimagining. But this one is just flipped. You took a comedy family show and turned it to a more dramatization of it. And then, like I said, I love the subtle things that the director did with this. Like right off the rip, he lets you know that this is not the same Bel Air. Because it start off with what we do. Like after do the first thing first, it start out with what we do, and immediately you hear Freeway say this shit is for my kids, nigga.
Yeah,
and so it's like right off the rip, this is different.
Then I watch. So me, I'm a nerd like you, geek. Mm-hmm. I watched the behind the scenes and where did this come from, and the fact that this came off of a brother grinding on YouTube.
Yeah. Shout out Morgan Cooper.
So I had a motherfucker tell me back in the day, man, remakes ain't a good idea. You shouldn't do remakes, and who makes remakes?
Shit.
Remakes don't do good. But I'm saying the fact that he did his own independent production that got Will's attention.
Will
wasn't gonna do no reboot.
I saw it in real time, bro. Yeah. Like when he dropped. So I'm a big fan of directors. You know what I'm saying? And so like I've been following Morgan Cooper for quite some time. And then when he had dropped the trailer, I remember like, yo, this is a dope ass idea. Now, granted, there's mad fan made trailer shit. Fucking shout out Champ. Champ did a whole fan made series on Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I equated it to that at that moment, like, yo, this is dope, man. And then I remember when Will finally saw it, he was like, yo, I like this. That was the news. That to me, that was the end game at that time. Just having Will co-signing, like, yo, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? So
Will said they have been trying to do it. It's been done. They were finding a network.
Before that, no. So before he even took it to the network, when Will had just saw it, it said, yo, Morgan Cooper, what you did here is dope. And then as it kept on going, and then somebody, I forgot who, but it was like, yo, it would be dope if y'all really did it. He was like, I like that idea. And Will end up finding him. They start doing the cast, they start doing it and everything like that. So it's like seeing that in real time. And again, that goes to like, you never know who's going to be who. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's why like people got to get out their head of like not supporting people until they make it. It's like, bro, you got to support people where they are because there's dope people that are right now doing dope shit that just doesn't have the resources. Right. Morgan Cooper, he did that with him and his people. You know what I'm saying? He just happened to have a really dope
character didn't even look like Will.
Well, it was different character.
Yeah, I'm saying the nigga didn't even look like Will, and they still pulled the shit off.
And he did it, put out something dope, and then now look at him. You know what I'm saying? Show running a big show with Will Smith
on Peacock.
What do y'all think about actually being gay?
I'm okay.
I don't have a problem with it because I think at that age, people are discovering themselves sexually. Yeah. We work with middle school. I work with, that's the age group that I worked with for over 15 years. So I dealt with that at my job where girls likes girls, boy, motherfuckers trying to figure themselves out. Her character might not even end up being gay.
And that's what she said.
Yeah.
Remember when Hillary asked, she was like, I didn't even know. She was like, well, yeah, she was like, I didn't want to say anything because I'm still trying to figure it out and everything like that. And yeah, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I have been, because at my gig, we have these independent groups, right? They call associate resource groups at my gig. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm the co-chair of the network of Black associates. You know what I'm saying? We have our pride group. We have our millennial group. We have our veteran group, like in all these groups within the organization. So I took it upon myself to say, you know what, I want to be an ally. So let me just be a part of these other groups that even though I'm not a part of that community, just so I can understand like what are they fighting for, what they're going through, the thing, and how can I help support them, right? And so as I went down that walk of life and going in there and start realizing, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the similarities, you know what I'm saying, through Black people coming up and just like what the LGBTQ community is going through, and starts like figuring out like, yo, they just want to be able to have their identity. They want to be able to figure it out. They want to be able to see themselves on there. So it's like when people, like, I always argue against people who say that they're pushing a gay agenda, because I'm like, bro, it's not a gay agenda. It's just life. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that here, I think with me, the reason why I'm a little bit more open to it, growing up, I had an uncle who did transition, you know what I'm saying, did the whole full transition. And I lived with this, you know what I'm saying, with my aunt, you know what I'm saying, once she transitioned, we lived with her for quite some time. I've seen her just live. And what's funny is that she was the player. Like, she was a player. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, the people that she was pursuing in and out. And I seen that. But in my head, I didn't think like, oh, man, she doing gay stuff. In my head, I'm just like, yo, Rella out here. Rella a player. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it was normalized to me. My cousin is El Hollow. You know what I'm saying? She's been one of the most biggest activists in Wisconsin for the LGBTQ plus community. So it's like seeing that and being aligned with, you know, people in my family, I'm a little bit more open to it. So when I see it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when Power Book started with Ghost, and the big thing was like, everybody was like, oh man, they doing like all these gay scenes and everything like that. I'm like, one, if you watch any episode of Power, you know sex is going to be no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Power. I was like, so of course there was at some point in life in New York with all these people, you're going to see, you know what I'm saying, a gay couple. It's like, so it's like, in my head, I was just more like
Omar on the Wire.
Yeah. So in my head, I was like, I don't see it as an agenda. I'm just like, this is life.
I don't think it's an agenda, but the tricky part about it is, and I spoke to, shout out Michael J. Curtis. One of my homeboys.
Yeah, shout out Michael, man.
Shout out Michael.
I worked with him.
Yeah,
so
I know y'all work together.
Yeah, that's the
shout out Michael J. But we had this conversation, and
I remember.
I'm talking about. I talked to him the other day on the phone about this when it was trending on Facebook, and the thing that I said to him, and he was like, "Damn, Scales, you done came a long way." And I'm like, "No, I'm just thinking clearly."
Yeah.
Because my thing is, it's about representation, but all representation ain't good representation.
Oh, yeah,
so this is the same fight that black people had trying to break into Hollywood years ago. Is that we want to be seen in the right light. Like Mike was like, I don't agree with all gay characters.
No, yeah. Well, see, you
see what I'm saying? And he's like, I will tune into a show just to see if they're depicting
what
I represent correctly. If they're not, then I don't like the character or the show.
What it comes down
and
to.
I said, I'm the same way, Mike. You know what I mean? I don't get just turned off because it's a gay character. It's about how they're representing.
If it makes sense.
If it makes sense. If they're forcing it into the storyline, like they force black people in the storyline.
Don't put us in situations where like why? That had no character arc to it, right? So like, again, now back on some nerd shit. When we think about the Internals, right? Yeah. What's his name?
You can grab that.
Old boy from Atlanta.
Yeah, Bel Air bottle.
I don't know.
I can't think of the actors' names. His name is Brian Henry or something like that.
Right. Yes.
Brian Tyree Henry or something. Yeah. So his character was gay in there in that movie, but him being gay had nothing to do with his character.
Didn't take away from his character.
That is the representation of what we're talking about. Just because he's a gay man and he has a relationship, like that did not make his character. He was still a superhero. He was still a part of this dope team. He still had adequate powers to everybody else on the team, right? That's representation, because it's like, yo,
and he was the smartest one,
right? That's the representation. It wasn't pandering. It wasn't it wasn't just it was just, okay, this character just so happens to be gay, but that's the smallest part of his character. Everything else, because this is a superhero movie, so we're going to focus on the superhero elements. Why the Eternals matter? Why they didn't jump in with Thanos? Like, it's focused on that, and so that's the representation of what we see. Same thing with black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that we are not all just thugs and gangsters.
Yeah, exactly.
But when shows do that, and that's all we see, it's like, bro, like, okay, what about the other black folks? What about the black businessman, black cop? You know what I'm saying?
They do it because it's a successful formula. We love gangster movies in America. America's a gangster country.
This nigga Ernest is crazy. Y'all said from left to right, the growth of dread. Shout out Eda Black checking in. What's going on, fool? This nigga is crazy. But yeah, keep going.
I was saying that we love gangsterism in America.
Oh, we do.
America was built on gangsterism, so we tend to lean towards those stories more than we do, just regular stories. That's why Power is so successful. That's why Empire was so successful. Snowfall,
The Wire.
These shows are successful, and we do gangster shit almost as good as the Italians do.
Right? If not better. Because we do it with more swagger.
Right. So the stories that you could tell of black gangsterism in America it's almost infinite. Right. From the lowest level to the highest level.
From the street dealer to the kingpin. Right.
So I understand, people go, oh well, we don't always want to be looked at as gangsters, but
it works. The line in that where it happens is if it's a white director, he has to do what Spielberg did with Color Purple, and you have to go to the people that are in the movie that you casted for the movie, like he did Oprah and Whoopi, and said, "Help me do this because I don't want to do this.
You can't do it on your own.
I don't want to do Terry McMillan's book the wrong way."
Right. And that's piss people off. And we talked about The Wire. The Wire is show ran by a white guy. But what he did was, all right, I want this to feel like Baltimore. So I need actors. I need real people from the city, so that way it can feel it. I need people, and he leaned in on his actor. But so to even take it a little step further, when we talk about representation, so what's your favorite white show that you watched back in the day?
Married with Children.
Married with Children, right? Now, Griff. That was his name, Griff, right?
Griff, yeah.
Griff was black.
Griff was black as fuck.
Griff was black as fuck, but he wasn't a gangster. He wasn't smoking a regular. He was a regular black dude, same as
that hated his wife.
Just like Al. That's represent. If they would have made him gangster as fuck, it would have been like, okay, this is.
Well, you're a pop culture.
Griff. No, but that was a good.
That's what I'm saying.
Even Cleveland on Family Guy. Because Family Guy is one of my favorite shows too. But Cleveland's not a thug,
right? You know what I'm saying? That's the representation. What I'm saying.
He's black as fuck.
But he's black as fuck. And see, that's what I'm saying.
Black,
we need to have those. That's what needs to be when it feels like pandering or it feels like it is like. Bro, like okay, now
because even that's what Mike was saying. Like they will throw gay characters in there just because they know the LBGT community is going to tap in and tune in to this show if they know it's a gay person on it, just like us. And we'll be like, oh, we're gonna watch that shit. Did you see a black dude on there or some black girl on there? I watch it for her. Yeah. You don't know how many black people I hear say they watch certain shows.
Oh yeah,
that might not be for us per se, but I feel like all entertainment is entertainment. It's for all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So conversely. What do you think about shows that don't use black characters? If like Friends.
Well, so my issue with Friends, I always said, I was like, I don't need a black person to be in the core group of Friends. But if you telling me that you are in New York and y'all don't have any interaction with black people,
no gay black baristas or nothing,
not one black person,
not one black.
That is the issue because I think a lot of people think that we are wanting to be in the main cast. It's like, no, in Friends and the way the show is made up, it doesn't make sense.
Did Seinfeld have
Seinfeld did. Seinfeld had plenty of black people.
Jackie Child. Jackie Child was a huge reoccurring.
Yeah, he was on there.
Yeah, he was wasn't he like a boss?
Lawyer.
He was the lawyer. He was the lawyer. Yeah. And so it's like
he was the play on
Cochran, right?
Okay,
yeah. So it's like, see, but again, that's long, like I said, in everyday interaction in a city like New York, you're gonna run into some black folks. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue. With
I don't even think they have black.
She said y'all leave Friends out of this. We not shitting on Friends.
In the history of the show, they have one black.
The one that I can think of is remember Ross was dating a black woman.
Oh, yep.
That's the only black person I can think of.
Angel said y'all leave Friends out of it.
No, we gotta go there.
Yeah.
We gotta get both sides.
It's just that, like I said, again, when you can bring us in, makes sense. I don't, and if they now let's say season 12.
She said even The Office had a black person.
Yeah, think about like season 12. If they did like season 12 of the Friends, and all of a sudden now you got this new black character that's part of the friend group, then it's like, all right,
now you forced it on. It
sounds like you forced it.
You
know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what I'm saying? You can do it like how they, like I said, The Office, how they had Daryl, Stanley, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they had these black characters. The door person was black. You know what I'm saying? Like they had all these black characters that were in there, that popped up in there, and that's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
She says she's not bothered when black shows don't have white people either. I'm not either.
I mean, but it's not real.
It depends on the story.
Not the reality.
Right. It's not reality. There are white people in the world.
Yeah.
Well, even if the sitcom is satire based, it has to be based on some type of reality.
Yeah.
Right. Now, a show that didn't have no black people on it. What was the one show that was based in Port Washington, Wisconsin? It used to come on with Urkel.
Oh, Step by Step.
Step by Step. Now, I could understand that. I live in Wisconsin. There aren't any black people in Port Washington, Wisconsin.
That 70s show. That was that Sheboygan?
Sheboygan or something.
No, it was Kenosha.
Kenosha.
See, that should have had black people.
Well, maybe not in the 70s.
Not in the 70s. Yeah, maybe not in the 70s.
See, now they about to do the 90s show. You see that, right? On Netflix. Yeah.
But you think about shows that like,
and it's supposed to be based out of Kenosha too.
You think about this because we think about The Sopranos. What's funny is I would literally listen to a podcast talking about the same thing and they talking about it. You think about The Sopranos and you go back in it. Italian mafia are racist.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. Tony Soprano, and like when you watch the show, there's certain parts of the show of Sopranos where they blame black folks for doing crime and stuff like that.
So explain it.
But we love Sopranos.
So break Sopranos down to me. Is Sopranos books? Like The Godfather, it's not books like The Godfather.
It's just a series.
So I went to go see the Saints of Newark.
Yeah,
and you know that's the pre-story, and it's black as fuck. That movie's black as a bitch. Like the whole cast is black, damn near.
Now it's a pre-story.
It's the pre-story of how Tony Soprano becomes into being Tony Soprano. You see what I'm saying? His uncle adopts him. And his uncle is warring. Well, his uncle is trying to be a mediator between the black gangsters and the mafia.
Well, see, and that's what I was going to say. It depends because
you see what I'm saying? But that's the pre-story to the 7-8 years that we watched on HBO where there was no black people in the Sopranos.
Well, also they were also operating within just the mob at that moment, right? So they wasn't dealing with the black gangs no more. I mean, because now the mob that you know.
So maybe that's a transition in the story.
Because then you think of like Sons of Anarchy, right? They had a whole like you have the main biker crew, but then you also have the black biker crew. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what I'm saying when they did the spin-offs with the Mayans, like I said, you still see the black crew still there. So it's like it depends. Like again, it gotta make sense. That's my main thing.
Like a storyline that has a beautiful casting is Snowfall for me.
Snowfall, yeah.
I love the white characters as much as I love the black characters. Like Reed, the dude that worked for the CIA, I love him as much as I love Franklin. So, you know what I mean? It's equal. Yeah. With them, Reed is my dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and Franklin is my dude.
They Reed your dude?
I don't like the turn. I don't like the turn.
Wait.
Reed, but
no, like Reed
was my dude.
The FBI.
Reed was the one who put him on.
CIA. I don't know, man. But you watched the first two episodes?
Yeah, I watched the first two.
Because
can you blame Reed?
I can't blame.
If you was Reed, what would you do?
I definitely can't blame.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I fuck with Reed, because Reed get on real nigga activity. When it's time to get on real nigga activity, he be like, "Fuck it, I got to get on real nigga time."
But Franklin was about to float, and then Reed was like, "Hey, nah, all that shit, we shutting that shit down. We going back to how it used to be."
Right.
Like I was like, "Damn, dog."
We're gonna stick with the 10K for right now.
Yeah.
He was like Franklin, because Franklin trying to, you know what I'm saying, spoiler alert, he trying to make his way out. And then he was like, nah, man.
Ain't no out.
Ain't no out.
Ain't no out. I can't get out this shit.
Ain't no out, man.
I can't get out. Can Reed get out?
Well, he was out. He
was out.
That's because this is his program.
And
so he's like, nah, fuck that. I gotta get I gotta see this. He's on some, if the ship's gonna sink, I'm sink with it shit. Yeah. Like that's what he on.
So what do you think about the Ye doc? I
ain't give it a shot, dog.
You didn't watch it at all,
bro. I have not.
Neither one of y'all watched it
because I've been off of Ye. I still didn't believe the gospel album was genuine, and so and again, he doesn't have nothing to prove to me. But personally, for me, until I feel that he's actually like genuine in his walk of life and everything, I'm off of New
So
Ye.
you don't think he really on his church thing?
Nah, I think
he on his church thing. You don't think he on his church thing?
I don't personally, not. I think he did it just to get back in black folks' graces. I think he did it to get back in black folks' graces. I think all of this is like, I don't know. It's the stuff that he do, because like you do like from and again, it's just like growing up with church folks that, you know what I'm saying, it's like, all right, you using this, but then you aligning yourself with Marilyn Manson, who's avid devil worshiper. It's like, to me, that's weird. That's weird.
Jesus went amongst the people who wasn't saved. That's the whole thing about being a Christian. You're supposed to go in corridors where people aren't saved and be in arenas where people aren't saved, because you're trying to bring people to Christ.
I mean, I get that, but that, to me, I equate that. Okay, if there's people who are still open, I don't believe that.
So what's the difference between Ye and Kirk? Right. I mean, Ye and Madeir. Madeir uses church.
I mean, I ain't a big.
I mean, I'm not saying you big. I'm not saying if you big fans of these people.
No, what I'm saying, but I hope
I'm giving you examples of vehicles that are successful.
Yeah, I hope, sir,
and they're using the church,
and I also. But the difference is, I guess for me, is that
she said phenomenal, you doc, and I've been mad at Ye for years.
I haven't seen Kirk waver like I've seen.
See, this is the reason why I think you two guys will like the doc, because I was on my JR the Superstar shit at the same time this documentary was made, which is the same time I met Man Up Productions and Don, and the same time that I met you and Mark Strong, Streets and Young Deuces. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I met all that Rico Love, Scott Knox shit, all that shit, Chad Roper, Lachey Martineau making the band, all that shit happening at the same time, bro. Well, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's when y'all watch the doc, that's what y'all gonna be like, oh damn, that's what Scalez was talking about, because it's gonna take you back to where you and Streets was at. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna take you back to when you and Shay Kanan was out here passing out CDs. It's gonna take you back to that moment, because it's those time periods of Ye. It's not Ye with Jay on the road.
Well, that's the thing.
Black on.
I have no doubt, documentary wise,
and his mama's on, and his mama's on there.
I have no doubt, documentary wise, music wise, inside wise. I guess for me, it's just I'm still so off of Kanye that I gotta put some time between before I even eventually check it out. Because I love music documentaries. It's something that I truly love. But like, bro, like I'm talking about, man, I was a flag waver for Ye.
Yeah, you know, I know.
For the longest. I was a big flag waver for Ye. And
I know that.
After all that shit, like just years and years of shit, I'm just like, bro, it was just kept. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Once a nigga let you down, so like when people let you down so much, after a while, it's just ways that you check out. And that's what it was with Ye. You know what I'm saying? I was defending them for so long, and then it was just after another that I was like, fam, I gotta check off on this boat. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just listen to the old Ye. I'm gonna just.
So you didn't check out Donda?
Nah, I didn't check out Donda.
You didn't even listen to the album?
Didn't listen to that. I haven't listened to anything past Jesus.
I listened to it, and I've been checked out on Kanye for a long time. Yeah. Ye, I think if you were a fan of Ye, you kind of gotta still be a fan of Ye because Ye is just crazy. Like Ye is just all of that shit that he does is Ye, and it's not like I don't think he's pretending. I think it just is who he is. Like the man is nuts.
Here's where I disagree.
He's Gemini,
but
he's Tupac's, and
here's where I disagree.
Tupac was nuts.
Here's where I disagree a little bit with that, and where I'm sure the documentary shows. I have this thought process that once Ye's mom passed, everything shifted.
Yeah, the documentary,
right?
His career.
And I feel like his mom was the one that kept him anchored.
Yes.
Right. And I feel like without that anchor, you're left into those thoughts, you're left into those manic episodes, and that's why we're seeing it. So like, you can always have this within you. This can always be within you, but you know what I'm saying? You still got to have that level. Like, it's pretty much like, okay, do I do this or do I not? Oh, you know what? I got way more at stake here. I'm not going to do that. Even though I want to be free and do whatever I want to, but I know the mental capacity that I am at, and I know that this is not actual good behavior that I want to do. And I feel like once his mom, you know what I'm saying, passed away, he stopped even wavering. It's like, I'm just doing whatever the fuck I want and not thinking about the reaction to it, not thinking about the impact that it has. And that's why I think I don't think Ye changed. I think that his moral compass has been compromised because he doesn't have anybody in his life.
And now he's so rich and powerful.
Yeah.
And you think he's just gone, he's so far gone.
Look, I mean, I don't ever think that nobody is non-redeemable. Like I believe that he can get back there, but Ye's gonna have to want to do it. And you know what I'm saying? And right now, from what I'm seeing with him, I don't see him wanting to do it. And that's why I'm off of it right now.
I just knew you niggas. I just knew you two niggas that watched the doc just because I know y'all in the music docs.
Listen here, every day I'm on Netflix, I stop and I'm like, today's not the day. Because I want to. I love music documentaries. I watch Fade to Black. I watch Backstage. I watch Up in Smoke. Like these are stuff like how people are like, oh, I'm gonna watch Friday today. I watch music docs over and over because I love. It's inspirational for me.
My TV time is very regimental.
I watch the majority of my television is sports or music doc. You know what I mean? So I watch sports documentaries, documentaries. I'm a real gangster documentaries. I'm a doc dude.
Man, I mean too. Same, bro. I love docs, man. You know so it's like I'm just like, damn, man. I would like. I eventually I will at some point do it. It's just I still need. For me personally, I still need.
So speaking of that, Forbes put out his richest paid rappers for 2021. Right. And so I'm gonna start from the bottom and go up. Okay. Mm-hmm. So 27 million was J. Cole, 28 million was Eminem, 35 million was DJ Khaled, 38 million was Travis Scott, 45 million was Wiz Khalifa, 50 million was Drake, Diddy was 75 million, Ye was 250 million, and Jay-Z came in at number one at $470 million.
That gap.
That's a joke.
That jump.
That's a joke.
So we can discuss anybody on anywhere on this list, anywhere y'all want to jump in at.
I'm not necessarily shocked. I'm impressed that Wiz popped up on there because Wiz is somebody that has been like, if you just look, it seems like he's been quiet. And the fact that he's still out there,
because he makes money off of like Ty Dolla $ign.
He makes money off a lot of stuff.
Like Ty Dolla $ign is signed to him, correct? And so he got Ty Dolla $ign, he got the weed going.
Yeah, got the weed going. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? But to me, that's dope because it's like, yo, like for the longest, we put just stake on. If you ain't got a current album out or top, a Billboard charted album, you think that they're not making that money.
He's a different generation.
Oh, he definitely is.
He's a different generational rapper.
He came from that grassroots.
Yeah, he's right in that line to me with the Soulja Boys and the Chief Keefs, meaning that they don't have to have music out to still be relevant because their relevancy was built online pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Through social media and shit like that.
Yeah, because I can't think of the last album that I even listened to from Wiz, but I know that
but he still be on features,
Wiz.
like he'll be on the Chris Brown album.
He
like,
also still Wiz. Like no matter what, Wiz walk in, no matter any room, everybody gonna stop. Like he's still Wiz.
He still get big features.
It's good to see J. Cole pop up on there too. You know what I'm saying? But you also know the stuff that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he did the whole festival. I'm pretty sure that got him a pretty good bag.
He just his Puma deal is big. What else is it? Ari Lennox.
Oh yeah, she's
had a big year.
Earth Gang.
She's got the #1 song in the country.
I'm just saying, like think about the crew that he built.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and the shows that they're doing, and like that whole Dreamville camp is body and shit right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was dope that he made the list. Eminem made it at 28 million.
Yeah.
Like Eminem still
gonna make money.
Eminem just broke like a record with one of his albums on Spotify or something the other day. Like being like the most played album ever since
M's always gonna be up there though.
So like he still streams well. His old work still streams well. So I can see him.
His old work probably streamed better than everything than his new stream, because you gotta think that old M, that's the M that everybody fell in love with. That's the M that it wasn't really a debate. Right. Like he was like new M, people was like, you know what I'm saying? Some people don't like that new flow, you know, like that. But that old M, niggas was like, yo, like it was like, yeah, M's definitely in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like that
niggas be like, they ain't right, ain't nobody riding around listening to no Eminem.
Well, I always said that for me with M, I don't relate to anything that he talks about. Like I recognize him as a dope ass rapper.
I think,
but as far as relatability, I don't. So when it comes down to
Eminem is a rapper's rapper.
Yes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense with pop culture ability because of how he marketed himself. So the Busta Rhymes method, the Baby's using that same method. Ludacris used it. I'm talking about the visuals. How Eminem. When I first saw Eminem, he was in overalls with a chainsaw in his hand and a Jason mask to the right where you can still see his face, but you can still see the mask. Yeah. And he had blood on him.
Yeah.
And he was rapping about killing somebody.
And probably his mom.
And I'm like,
either his mom or killed.
And I'm like, this shit is hard as fuck because his cadences and his onomatopoeias and the way he lining his shit up, even though he ain't really saying nothing that's triggering to me. I'm an artist. Yeah. So I'm locked into that part of how he putting his words together. And then I'm looking at the artistry of it. Yeah. But when you just go to the common listener, I can see how the common listener would not be an Eminem fan because of what you just said. Yeah. He doesn't really make anything that really, he's made a few records that crossed over and connected with black audiences, but he don't really make nothing that stick like that make people be like, nah, I gotta hear that joint. You know what I'm saying? You just know that he can rap really good. Yeah. Like,
but mine's also came from growth. You know what I'm saying? Like at that time when M first came out, I was all about rapping. I was all about metaphor, simile, the different wordplay and everything like that. And content was probably like third or fourth on my list, right? Now where I'm at in life and everything, like content is the one. Like my favorite rapper right now, like is J. Cole, because I can relate so much to what he talks about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it comes down to that. So like a lot of the time when we get into these debates, like okay, one got to go and everything like that. People, I'm like, yo, okay, for me, and that's why I always start myself. For me personally, M can go, and it's only because I'm like, I have no relatable. Like if I think about all of Eminem's career, and if his whole career was removed, will I feel a void? And I was like, I wouldn't. Like it because of that.
It fucks me up because of that. It fucks me up when I be doing my list and shit because I be having to put niggas like Pac over him just because Pac made records that resonated with me.
But again, that's as we get older because like there was a point in time where I'm like, all right, top 5, okay, M definitely in there.
Exactly.
Oh, like he was like it was in there.
He's still top
5. He's still top 5? How?
He's one of the greatest MCs that ever lived. Top 5 greatest MC to ever live.
Top 5 greatest
without the context.
No matter what time period you take this list in, he top 5. He alive.
Dead or alive.
Get you 75% of your favorite.
Yeah.
See, so this is where I disagree, and the reason why I disagree because what people say that he gonna chew people up with when I go back and break down the lyrics, I'm like, what did he even say?
Renegade? You didn't listen to Renegade?
He didn't say nothing of substance on Renegade to me, dog. not at all.
I mean,
Like I get what he said. I mean, like I know since I'm in a position to talk to these kids and they listen, I ain't no part. Like for me, I'm just like, all right, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know how I always felt about that because niggas used to try to shit on Hov, and I thought Hov snapped.
Well, here's
You
the
know what I
thing.
mean?
You did.
So you know what I mean.
But then also,
and I heard the original version, and I thought Royce the 5'9" went off harder than Eminem did on the original version of the song. Royce the 5'9" went off harder than Jay and M to me. But
and M had the advantage because he created the beat.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot to it. So it's like, I mean, I get it. Like I said, when people debate M, like I said, I don't debate people's stance.
Since we moved to the new spot, my metric system has to come out. I got to put the board up.
Okay,
I got to put the board up.
let's go.
We're gonna put the board up, and I'm gonna explain exactly what the
You got room to
criteria
do
is.
all that in here.
Top 10.
You got room and space to do all of that in here. From the windows to the walls
and
in this
I'm
funky
going to
joint.
my Stephen T. Smith. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous that y'all would even leave Eminem out of your top 5. I can't believe it. It's blasphemous. I mean, I can't believe you have the audacity.
I'm about to be skipped
I mean,
to
no,
it's my time. And
So Cole is in your top 5.
Cole's in my top 5. Absolutely.
Already.
Yeah.
He could.
Wait. You say it already?
No,
like
it's been a long enough time
to say for him to be
Does he
stamped.
have
Big
We-
enough body of work.
does he
Yeah, it's
have
big
the
enough body of
numbers?
work. It's time to start.
I don't
We
add
have to
numbers
put
to
him-
my top 5.
No, he got like 5
You have to
albums.
add them.
No,
You gotta add
not in mine.
You got numbers. If you're a
See,
professional,
this is where me and him be splitting hairs at.
if you're a professional,
Wait, what's your criteria?
your job is to sell records.
I feel like that's one of the categories,
That's
but
one
I
of
don't
the
feel
exactly.
like
It's
I
not
don't feel
top.
like it's a
It's
top
not
category.
top. It's not top.
It's not a top
No, it's
category
not
for me.
top.
To consider top
It's a lot of
5.
dope niggas who don't
That's
sell a
like-
lot of
So
records.
what
like
is-
that.
so what is
I mean,
the top
because
category?
if record sales was in the top 5 of importance, then Biggie wouldn't be where he's at, right? Because Biggie didn't sell as nearly as many records
That's 5.
as Jay-Z or Tupac
Yeah.
Or even Eminem.
Yeah.
Drake, it's a lot of
But
people on that list in front of Big.
his influence, his delivery, his flow, his storytelling puts him in the top 5.
How many artists would you say is influenced by him?
By Big,
By Eminem.
by Eminem.
How many babies? Because you
No,
know
I think that's his lowest. I think
that's
his
one of my
lowest
categories is
category.
babies.
Yeah.
That's
You
his
can make my top.
There's 2 that I can give him. There's 2 that I would be comfortable in giving him.
Who?
Royce may have been. They may have been
they
cousins.
came up together.
And Kendrick. I give K. Dot that.
Kendrick. What's the boy name who did the Will Smith song?
Joyner
Joyner
Lucas.
Lucas?
Yeah.
He's definitely in Eminem.
Yeah,
Jordan
he's
Lucas definitely. He's definitely in there.
Yeah, Eminem. back.
But I'm talking about people that also would be considered a top 5, right?
I think his lowest statistical category is that.
For me, his lowest statistical category is content.
I don't put content in there because
See, I
content
do.
content is subjective,
And that's why I said my top
Content
5.
is
And that's why
right? Because it
Okay, it
does
goes back.
not appeal to us,
It goes back.
but it appeals to the millions of white listeners.
But okay, so it goes back to the television argument, right?
Right?
What are you watching?
I'm listening to all of it, right? So that there's my.
I'm watching shit that connect with me though. You feel me?
But again,
Okay, I got
I appreciate the artistry
of other TV shows that aren't necessarily connecting with me. I see the dopeness in them.
Listen,
I see the dopeness
I cannot
in him.
relate to billions. I can't relate to
No,
billions.
me either. But I'm saying
Okay,
like,
But I love billions.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. Curb Your Enthusiasm is damn near one of the best comedies in the world.
Facts.
But I don't have
I can't
that.
relate to shit.
I don't have it in my top 5
Yo.
because
It's not over in living color for me.
Yeah, see, and so that's why top 5.
Martin.
So as you say, top 5 is subjective as well because everybody's criteria is different.
Not when I lay out the criteria.
But what makes your criteria?
So
what
Tamika
makes your
asked the
superior
criteria.
to
You
my
got to lay it
criteria?
out, and you
But we
can't be
gotta
long.
do a whole show.
And I know that, but I'm just saying, what
We're gonna
makes
do a
your
whole show.
criteria superior to my criteria? See, that's why it's always.
But
gonna
see,
be subjective.
criteria might be the same because look, it's usually influence, record sales, flow,
Well,
song making,
Yep.
songwriting,
Yep.
Wait, so so now I'm confused because isn't songwriting doesn't that consider content? Like what they're talking about? Because I can't think of one song that's a well-written song that's not talking about anything.
He's never talking about nothing. Eminem's never talking about nothing.
And that's the knock.
It's something that you don't like. It's something that you don't. That
Now,
you don't
storytelling is also a criteria,
Yes,
and he's definitely top five.
Now, he's top five storytelling. I will
Telling
give
the
him
story.
top
I will
five
give him
storytelling. Easy.
He right up there with Biggie.
Right.
As
Yeah,
far
I'll
as
give
telling
him
the
that.
story.
And but see,
Right
that's a subgenre. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about storytelling, that's a subgenre.
But see, that's category.
Yeah,
That's a
category. So it's a category.
in the criteria of,
So then, what would be
making
the
the ultimate
criteria?
MC.
If we had to grade each criteria of the elements of rap, I don't think Eminem's scoring as high as you think.
I agree.
I do.
I think that he had knocked some of the people.
Y'all just don't listen.
Okay, so delivery. Where you rank Eminem in delivery?
Which one? Now Eminem or old?
Period. Overall.
Yes, he
Overall,
did.
we're not talking about
His delivery now is trash as fuck.
Okay, okay.
Trash as fuck.
We're talking,
I hate his delivery.
we're always taking a rapper prime,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Just like we do.
Okay.
Just like we do
Oh,
basketball
so
players.
bet if we
Just
talking
like we do
prime,
with basketball players.
he's definitely not top five prime delivery. If we talking prime delivery, a lot of the top five rappers that we have are not even top five in prime delivery.
Chris Boykin said number one. He said he's number one.
As far as
Delivery?
delivery,
Nigga, Tip delivery is better than M. Jadakiss delivery is better than
I was
M.
about to say Jada's delivery.
Jadakiss delivery is better than M.
Jada's is crazy.
Raekwon delivery is crazy. Fucking, I'm talking about people who have.
Andre 3000 got a crazy
3000.
delivery.
Wait.
So
So,
Andre 3000.
what's your definition of delivery?
The way you put together your rhyme overall,
And how you attack the
and how you attack it, how you attack.
So
it.
you're talking about more with the vocabulary as well, man. That's what. Okay.
All of that.
Then that's
plays into
because I'm talking about like
syllables.
I guess I equate delivery and flow together.
right, but delivery and flow are different, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Flow is
Biggie's not top five delivery wise, but he's number one in flow.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So all right, so just because somebody is able to put to rhyme a whole bunch of infertility words, you telling me that because that to me when I hear M, that's the M I think of.
Stop it, Angel.
That's the M I
Wayne's
think
got a
of.
great delivery. Wayne's got a
Wayne
great
got
delivery.
a great delivery.
Great delivery.
But Wayne be saying
Wayne-
shit.
Okay, so
Wayne be saying shit.
let me put the caveat out. Let me put the caveat out before we even get into this argument. If there is a question about
here
somebody
he go with
writing
this
your shit,
Here he go with
you are
this shit.
disqualified from the top 10
Here
of
he
rap.
go with this shit.
But okay,
You
but
are
with-
disqualified.
no.
Drake is not
Drake
top
ain't
10.
in my top
So
10
he's
anyway.
not in my top 10 either. But the only reason why I
Wayne is
the
though.
only reason I want to put an asterisk and question that. Okay, no, you're right. I agree with you with the top five. But certain categories you can't X them out of. You can't X them out of delivery.
No, and you can still
Because
you
you
can
can
still
have
be
a
top
top-tier
15.
delivery.
You can still be top 15. And somebody wrote
Yeah,
your
like
shit.
Lil
You still
Kim's,
be top
Lil
20.
Kim's got an awesome delivery.
Right.
She had a ghostwriter.
Wait.
She had
Are we,
ghostwriters her whole career.
okay.
But
Second
you
question.
can't be top 10.
Top
I'm
10
talking
what?
about the GOATs, the top 10, the top 10 greatest rappers of all time.
Okay.
There can be no question
No, I agree with you.
about whether or not
I asked you
somebody
top
wrote your
10
shit.
what? Because top 10 artists and top 10 rappers are completely different lists.
But okay, but we're talking about top 10
I know.
rappers.
That's why I asked you. I wanted to make
Right.
sure. I wanted to make sure because the top
Because
10
top 10
Angel,
artists,
Angel,
Drake is number one.
Wayne's still in my top 10. I don't care about the ghostwriting allegations with Wayne.
They have not questioned everybody, Angel. That is not true. Ain't nobody ever questioned if somebody wrote LL Cool J rhymes. Ain't nobody ever questioned if somebody wrote Jay-Z rhymes.
They did.
They have.
No question that what
Who?
Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz was trying
And
to say
then
he
later
was
on they started saying Young Chris was
right.
writing
It
shit.
was Chris. Yeah, they was trying to remember they was trying to
His
say
flow
that.
did change.
But
As much as
I
I love
thought he
Hov.
just took his flow.
Me too. I don't know. I ain't saying
he took his
I ain't
flow.
saying Chris
I think he took
wrote
his
it.
flow. I don't think nobody wrote that shit.
I don't think nobody wrote it,
I think he
but he
bullied him out.
definitely
He
like.
bullied him out his flow.
I was like,
That-
damn.
that's a
Look,
different.
Angel
That's a
said
different
Jay-Z
thing.
for sure.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It is. Listen, Hov is my number one.
Yeah,
Hov
that's
is
what
the-
I'm
Hov
saying.
is the GOAT.
He is number
Hov
one.
is the GOAT. Hov is top 5 in every statistical category.
Yeah.
Flow, delivery,
Yeah.
longevity,
Influence.
influence,
Content.
not that. stop with the content. Stop with, no, I'm leaving content out of my content's not in my basis, my criteria.
Oh, it's not in your criteria.
Okay.
Yeah,
Content's not in my
ain't
criteria. Again, content is subjective,
okay.
right?
Well, that okay.
She said LL ain't in your top 5.
LL's top 10.
LL
is my top 10.
Top 10. He top 10. He ain't top 5. He top 10.
How could LL not be? LL, he built Def Jam.
Yeah.
I guess for the new era, you know, Drake, as far as an artist, he that guy. But as far as rapper, I like Kenny Kung Fu, Kenny and all that. But I'm gonna have to give it to Cole. Cole on a feature alone.
It's killing it.
Yeah, like nigga, ain't nobody really showing up on a record like Cole right now.
Cole's amazing.
I got in that new
For
era,
this, I'm saying
I got Cole.
I'm saying for the Drake, Big Sean, Kendrick,
yeah.
Wale and them era, the winner to me, now that we're 10 years
He's not in that top 5.
Who?
Wait, He's not in that era though.
He not from that era. He not from the era that I'm talking about. That was a class. That was a
like,
freshman
this
class.
class now, you got to give it to like Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying? The Baby, the Baby definitely be up there. Even Dirt.
You gotta and y'all forgetting the major.
Nas is in the top 10. I actually have Nas top 5, and I hate Nas.
Why you hate Nas?
Because
Nas top 5 for sure.
How about that? Content.
What?
I don't like his content.
Okay.
What?
Just because you don't understand what he's saying.
I understand what he's saying. That's a misconception, dog. I be understanding everything that nigga be saying, dog.
Man, shut up.
He know how I feel about Nas.
Yeah.
However,
because I'm a Rockefeller nigga.
However,
I still love Nas.
I will give you that Nas's flow, delivery, cadence, timing, influence, everything is top tier.
Longevity,
everything is top tier. So I don't disqualify him because I dislike him. See, that's what a lot of people.
That's where he at. That's where he at with me.
Dislike him.
Right. He think because I take the stance that I dislike him. Right?
I don't dislike him.
I be shitting on him right
because
now.
M, like M, the one thing like about M, when I look into his career, he added to hip hop a lot.
Angel,
he gave us 50.
Angel said Nas is the best lyricist. I actually think he's second. I think Eminem is the best lyricist of all time.
Damn,
he's number 1.
But see,
which is what jumps
that,
him in the top 5.
I can understand that on your list because it's content removed. Because I'm making Nas top 3 lyricists of all time because of content.
Because of what he's talking
because
about.
Because of how he's rapping about. That's not easy to rap about and still be cool.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? The shit that he decides to rap about, and like a lot of times when people used to have a Jay-Z Nas debate, and I'm a Jay-Z guy. You get what I'm saying? But people will be like, oh, so this, ain't nobody listening to that Nas shit. I always used to be like, damn, we got to give Nas his credit because he's still relevant and he's talking about like political shit.
You absolutely have to give him his credit.
And you get what I'm saying? It's hard to stay relevant when you want some dead prayers common type shit. You see what I'm saying?
If Nas,
and still be like sex appeal, like your girlfriend will walk in the room and be like, oh, Nas on the TV.
If Hov and Nas was
you see what I'm saying?
Hov would have gave Nas his props because Hov said it.
He said it.
He said truthfully. Well, before that, he said truthfully, I would be rhyming like common sense.
Yeah.
What Usher comment was not like Nas.
So let's talk about influence, right?
You know where I go with influence. This niggas like Wayne and Pac.
The number one influence.
Them niggas had niggas dressing like them and trying to beat
Who's
them.
number 2?
Wayne.
I think it's Wayne, bro.
Wayne's not included because we're talking about the top 10 greatest rappers of all time. So let's get Wayne out of there. Stop.
Influence is the category. You can't. See, now you're changing the metrics.
He's excluded from the top 10 conversation. You agreed. You agreed he was excluded from the top 10 conversation.
We're not talking.
So number 2.
So out of
the top 10. Out of the people eligible to be top 10,
Wayne is eligible, bro.
Number 2,
I believe Wayne is
bro. Influence,
number 2
bro,
is Rakim.
Oh.
There's no New York flow without Rakim.
He top 5, but I don't think he over Wayne.
Not over Wayne, dog.
Wayne is so oversaturated. Wayne is so oversaturated because of
like Nas is a Rakim baby. Jay-Z is a Rakim baby.
Don, look at the marketing that's behind an artist like Lil Wayne, bro.
He
came after Biggie and Pac and Hov and them niggas like that, bro.
Gucci Rap's top 20.
But here's the thing with Wayne, like with dog, music today.
Yes.
That music today,
Yes,
the
because
sound
Rakim-
today is all still Wayne.
Yeah, bro. Listen,
Everything
he
is
knows-
generation.
Wayne,
bro. He
hey,
know
listen,
how
listen,
I do
listen,
my
listen,
list, bro.
listen.
My list go by if you got babies out
Yeah.
here, right?
Listen, okay, listen.
Wayne got babies
So
out
listen,
here. It's
so-
niggas
so
who hold the
let me
Migos,
explain.
Thug, that whole Atlanta
let me
Future.
explain.
All them niggas
Let me
look
explain.
like Wayne, dress like Wayne, walk
Shit,
like
half of
Wayne.
the niggas on Dreamville, JID,
Let me explain. If Lil Wayne was eligible for my top 10, he'd be number one in influence.
Over Pac. Over Pac?
Yes.
Man, niggas was wearing the bandana,
Man, I
Don.
know.
KB, remember niggas had the bandana on, bald head. They
as
thought
you
they was
said,
Pac.
but just like you just
Every
said,
nigga in the hood thought he was Pac. He was bald head with that bandana on.
but just like you just said, Lil Wayne got way more babies than Tupac. Ain't nobody running around rapping like Tupac.
No, but people still try to look like him. People still try to
I mean, that's because hoes thought he was sexy.
I mean, he it's crazy. He gone. He's still relevant.
He's still relevant.
Yeah, he's still relevant.
He's still relevant.
His relevance is number one.
Yeah. But I'm saying
Number one.
Wayne is in that
Listen,
state.
Wait.
but
So if
he's
relevance,
so-
wait,
he's
relevance
so
is number
low.
one on your list?
No.
No.
His relevance
His
is number
relevance.
one.
Oh, I was about to say, how the hell you still got Eminem up there? Because his relevance is shit right now.
He said Tupac's soul.
Niggas-
He said Tupac's soul is in all these artists. I think he's still influencing today's
He's still
game because
influenced.
Tupac was like the first emo rapper.
But he's number two.
You get what I'm saying? And in today's game,
He's
all
number
these
two.
niggas
If
emo
we talk
rap.
about rap in totality, not with my exclusions, he's number two. Lil Wayne is number one. Lil Wayne has more babies right now.
But that's because
relevant.
Wait.
Any
So now
other
I'm
rapper
confused.
ever.
So if Wayne is one
In
without
influence.
your exclusion and Pac is two, then how is Rakim one when you talk about your top 10? How come Pac ain't one?
No, Pac is number one in my top.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Rakim.
And Rakim is number two.
Two. Okay.
So because of the exclusion,
Mhm.
a lot of people everybody gets on this Wayne kick. Wayne. You can't knock Wayne. You can't knock Wayne. Because he's excluded, I don't even count him.
Now,
in
why
the
are you excluding Wayne again?
Because
he got a
somebody wrote
ghostwriter.
his shit.
Gilly wrote for him, right?
Gilly wrote for him. Manny wrote for him. Like,
It's true.
let's be clear. Like, the
He
man,
got on his own as he got older.
he's
He
an
did get on
artist.
his own.
Oh yeah, he definitely got. As he got older, he got in his bag.
So he
But he had a lot of help to get there.
Oh.
He started
Lil
at
Wayne.
12.
But I'm just saying, a lot of niggas had a lot of help to get there. Bow Wow, Romeo, all kind of niggas. They didn't turn into Lil Wayne. That's the difference.
Demetrius said, "Where's a nigga like Busta Rhymes?" Busta Rhymes is just outside of the top 10.
So
Of
he
what?
in top 20.
Probably about top 10.
Top
Wait.
15?
He's saying of
Greatest
all
rappers
time.
of all time. Probably top 20. When you talk about
I'll give him top 20.
I give him top.
I think he's the.
I wouldn't say he's outside the top 10 because when I start talking about like top 20 rappers and shit like that, like I start like, and again, this is me. I start adding people like Black Thought, Redman, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And I got Redman above Busta. I got Black
Yeah.
Thought above Busta.
I've read you above.
You know what I'm saying?
Above him too.
Like, there's certain people like that. You know what I'm saying? That I
Where do
start
you got a
putting-
nigga like Push?
Push it.
Shit, that's a good question. See, I haven't reevaluated my 20 in a while, but
Push
Push is up there.
Push is
dog. I don't know
top
where
30.
Top 30.
he may have cracked 20 though.
So
recently.
Fab is top 30.
No.
for me.
Top
he may-
Fab is maybe top 25.
So
Wait,
he
wait.
right.
You
So
got Fab-
like
wait,
Fab
okay.
and pushing them is all around each
Yeah.
other.
Okay, I was about to say
They're all
that.
around the same area. I mean, you got to think about there are guys like 50 in the top 20.
Man, top 20?
Yeah. Like on record sales and relevance alone,
And songwriting.
and songwriting,
Yeah, his songwriting's amazing.
Songwriting's
Top 20. No, I'm
phenomenal.
saying he belongs top 20 or higher.
Yeah, see, I gotta reevaluate it.
50 might be top 15
Yeah,
for
to
me.
me, yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm cool with
No,
top
no, no.
15,
Yeah, I'm
50.
saying we in the same range.
Cool
I'm
with top
just
15,
doing
but
my list.
You top 15, you got Demetrius just said
What?
Ross and T.I. Ross and T.I. are somewhere in that top 15, top
Yeah,
20
they in
area.
there. They in there. They right around where
So
50 at.
They're right around where
Yeah,
they're right around where
Luda
50 is.
at.
I just want to do everybody.
Luda is,
He's top
to
10.
me, he's
Okay.
right outside the top 10. He's like 12th, 13th. Ludacris was
Now I'm not taking nothing
Ludacris
away
is
from Luda.
phenomenal.
So here's Okay, so I guess wait.
This nigga said the game.
Is each of
I
your
don't know where to put the game.
Does each of your categories hold the
game
same weight?
like top 100.
Does each of your categories in your top, rappers, does each of them hold the exact same weight? Or is this any?
Yes, they all hold the same.
So for me, it's different because lyricism holds a higher weight than record sales for me.
I can understand.
For me,
I
too.
can understand why, but if you're doing a fair list, everything has to have the same.
Like, yeah.
So mine is a point value, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1 is 10. Number 10 is 1, right? So if you have 10 points in the category, then you all you're doing is adding up the categories, right? Mm-hmm. And so Hov checks all the boxes because he's either 10, 9, 8 on every statistical category.
Right, but so then you have people like, let's say, a Nelly who checks off probably like 4, or I don't know, depending. Let's say you have 5 categories.
Yeah, but he got some ones in there.
But no, depending on, because if you're talking record sales, he gonna be top tier in record sales with that, right? You talk about song making,
I think we're talking all time.
Cadence and flow, like Nelly's cadence and his flow is up there, right? But then you get to lyricism, that's gonna be a little bit low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be like a 1.
So that's why I can't hold it.
But
That's why
I've had this conversation with Don about where do we put Nelly, and you have to put Nelly in the top 20 on the strength of his run.
Yeah.
DMX is high on my list because of his run. DMX dominated rap for 3 years.
That's why I said everything
with Jay-Z, with Eminem, with Dr. Dre, with Snoop Dogg, all these people existing. X was that guy for 3 years straight.
And I agree with you. And see, that's why I can't hold sales. That's why I can't hold sales the same as that, because a run to me is different. You don't got to be the top nigga. Shit, Jadakiss never sold out the market.
But I'm saying X and Nelly had
I agree with you
where they were the top guys.
What I'm saying is I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree with your thought process. That's why I'm saying each of my categories don't weigh.
Me being
a facts, Dino. 5 slots never change. 5 slots in the top 10 never change.
It's the after 5.
Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Eminem, Tupac, never change.
See, so my top 5
changed.
M
ain't in my 5.
I'll put X before I put Eminem.
Yep.
So my top 5 is
exactly. So you're putting DMX
over
in the top 10 greatest rappers of all time.
He's in my top 10 for sure.
Wait, you are not?
No. He's in my top 10. He had a run, dog.
Wow, dog. My top 5 has been.
Bro, so you're putting DMX. You putting DMX over LL Cool J?
Yes, 100%. Without
all right, that's hard. That's tough.
When I did have Eminem in my top 5, DMX was always 6.
So longevity don't mean nothing.
What you mean longevity don't mean nothing?
DMX run was only 3 years.
His run was a little bit longer.
It was a little bit longer. I'm saying where he was the top nigga was for 3 years.
I mean, if we're doing that, 50 would deserve to be in the top 10. 50 was
in my
as
top
big
20.
As
I said 50 was top 15.
Well, run is not it's not the only statistical category for me, and that's what I'm saying, bro.
But for us, it's relevancy with X, influence for X, content for X, street credibility, all of that. He checks a lot of boxes, bro. The man was a box office gem like Will Smith and LL Cool J and all these other niggas. You see what I'm saying? Like the nigga X was that nigga, bro. Like I ain't just saying that because he died. I was saying that shit when he was alive. Like, I'm a Jay-Z guy. The man had a bigger year than Hov one of them years. Like that's what I'm saying. The man had 2 #1 albums in a year. Nobody's ever done that. Hold on, I'm going on record to say that. In a calendar year, 12 months from January to December, the man dropped 2 albums. They both went #1.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Like,
what up, Sean P?
I was in it, Sean P. Yeah, you know what I mean. You just gonna have to bring your chart, bro. We gonna have to do this for real.
DMX. I think he was special, but I don't think he was special for long enough.
You got to make the category.
Them top 10 guys outside of Rakim have very long runs. They have very long runs. Longevity is
okay. So How do we gauge Eminem's run, bro? Because he's gonna sell records regardless if he put out Sugar or Shit. So how do you gauge his run?
Wait, you said
Eminem's run ended 10 years.
X is in your top 20 though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
In 2012, M's run ended.
Yeah.
So he went from what 98 to 2012.
That's
That's
long.
a decent run.
It's a long ass.
No, it's a long run. I don't know if his
X
run was that long.
Wait, but X. Okay, wait. Are you only equating being the top artist because X? I don't know.
X had a long
Because
run.
X probably his fall off didn't start until the Great Depression. And then there was X,
5 albums.
and then there was X still. That still sold.
Okay,
Great Depression sold.
Okay, so how many albums does LL have?
No, L definitely has way more
That
albums.
were relevant.
LL that were relevant.
Right.
I would say probably LL. If LL dropped 11 albums, I think in his career, I would want to say about 7 to 8 of them were relevant.
Yeah.
Okay. How many Hove have?
Hove is on 14.
Hove has one album to me that's like,
Right.
and it's still fire to
What
me.
was that? Kingdom
So
Come?
let's do
Yeah.
that right now. Let's
Kingdom
do that.
Come.
Kingdom Come.
Kingdom
I
Come is
still
my
think
only-
Kingdom Come has some.
No, that's what I'm
slaps
saying.
on
It
it.
still got some slaps. I'm saying that's the only album. If I had to nitpick and say this was the flawed album from Hove.
Volume 2 has some misses. I mean, Volume 1 has some misses.
I love Volume 1.
I love Volume 1 too because of the time period.
Well, I love Volume 1
I love Volume 2 because of the time period I was in my life, and we
Yeah.
shit. So
Yeah.
when we was on, Hove was that shit he was talking on there. But as far as he had some misses on there, like the Puff Daddy record was a miss.
Yeah.
He had a couple of misses on there, but like Who You With was my shit.
Yeah.
Imaginary Player.
My shit.
You know what I'm saying? He had some class. So that's how I feel about Kingdom Come. It was some misses on there, but it's some fire on that joint. Like the John Legend joint is crazy.
Yeah.
About Emery, about the letter he wrote to Emery in jail. Like that joint is crazy. That's one of the best. That's one of the whole toughest records.
That's what I said. That's it. Even Hove's
The intro
flawed
to Rick James sample. What life would
even
be.
even Hove's flawed album was like, hey,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So
Show me what you got, little mama.
Like
That's on that album.
Tupac. How many of them albums? How many albums do you have? How many albums were relevant?
All of them.
All
down
of
there.
them.
yeah, until they start putting out fake albums,
right?
Until they start-
But I'm saying,
Once they start putting out fake
even
albums.
if we stopped him at Machiavelli,
Yeah.
his that body of work is amazing.
Right. So, big 2 albums,
Yeah.
both of them phenomenal, like 2 of the greatest.
3,
rappers.
you can say 3. He had a
But see,
double
that's
digit.
why.
three.
But see, that's why I don't put heavy stop on Run with it. Like as far as like how many albums, because
Well,
Big only had 2.
But Big was
Yeah,
different.
Lost One was
He
on
was
that
different.
album.
Big was different.
He was different.
Big is like
He didn't have the opportunity to put out more.
right.
Yeah.
But you go
But he
down,
still held
you
up
go
his
down
side.
you go down the top 10 list of greatest MCs, like their run, all of them
But so
is longer
who are
than DMX.
we're missing out some people out of this 10. All right. So let's say
Okay.
so we got the
Andre
5.
3000.
So okay,
So Andre 2000 in your 10, right?
Yes.
Don, you know what I compare it to?
But you're including Outkast album.
Of course.
If we go sports with it, Shaq dominated, but he didn't dominate for a long time.
Right.
Shaq had about
That's true.
4 seasons where he was
Yeah.
the best player
That's
on
true.
the planet.
That's
over
why he's
Tim
not top
Duncan,
10.
over a lot of people. But I'm saying, like, it to me, it's not about it. The run count, but also if your run was short, it's about how you dominated in your run.
T-Mac dominated for him.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying,
he didn't win no chips.
but see,
he
even
didn't win no chips, but he still.
the reason why I rank Shaq so high is because he did win.
I rank
chips.
Shaq high.
He did.
He did win.
I'm
chips.
trying to think.
I don't have him top 10. Right.
trying to
I
think
have
of-
him outside of the top 10.
So
He's the best center outside of the top 10.
So when we go rap, my thing is even with an artist like Nelly, I'm not saying Nelly is top 30 for me, but if we break it down into criteria like we've been doing in categories, his run was crazy.
Oh yeah, his run was crazy. But we've seen a lot of crazy runs, right? 50 had a crazy
50
run.
had a crazy run.
Well, we also got to stop acting like runs are normal.
Right. They're not.
No,
So
they're
that's
not
why I'm saying you have to. Why I'm saying Nelly probably sucks in every other category.
No, he doesn't.
I'm saying he lower tier in every other category, but I'm saying as far as domination and
Domination,
run,
he's up there. Run.
he dominated.
Like the whole had to, like the fact that when the top
Pimp Juice and us,
he said it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you are holding M's run up high,
no,
if you
Black
are holding
Thought is
50
crazy.
high, then you gotta hold
niggas like Most Def,
Niggas
like Most Def, Andre 3000, Common. Them niggas is hard
Talib,
to place
like,
on lists, Talib, because them niggas can rap, like rap.
Redman's up there too.
Yeah, Redman.
Like I said, we hold Redman.
Royce the 5'9". It's hard to put these niggas on list places because they go lower in the tier. My bad, not to cut you off. They go lower in the tier because then you have niggas like Cole and you have niggas like Kung Fu Kenny who are able to do both.
Yeah.
Who are able to do the conscious shit and rock the club and feature on an R&B joint and body that, and everywhere you place them, it just works for them. Like, so you can't just pigeonhole the nigga into, oh, he a rappity nigga. No, it's rappity niggas with crossover appeal that still sell records, that still have relevance.
He was definitely, especially you go way back.
I mean, if you go back to Leaders of the New School, we come from the Tribe Called Quest type
shit. Even when he crossed over, like, bro, you hear Dangerous and all these songs. But he was still rapping on that.
Exactly. Angel brought up another good person who's an example. Snoop's another.
That's what I was going to ask. That was going to be the
You wouldn't consider him a great lyricist, but he checks the box on everything else. Influence, longevity. He might be number one because he doesn't even have to put music out that's relevant like that anymore, and he's still the most recognizable rapper. You Google rapper Snoop Dogg.
To me, Snoop is the top rapper in game as far as like relevance, like it's because you think about superstar rappers, like you got Hove up there, you know what I'm saying? But Snoop has done Snoop has been on Snoop is heavy in Africa.
Branding and marketing.
He put out a reggae album.
Bro, the man be having commercials and shit in Europe.
Snoop was on the Super Bowl halftime. Snoop performed at the All-Star. Snoop was at the Grammys, the Emmys, the Tonys.
Never changed his image. That nigga been exactly.
Bro, Snoop has a free pass to smoke in any building.
Been the same way since he
came out, fam. Any building.
He never switched up.
Never switched up
about what he
Snoop
was about,
been in movies. Snoop been on reality TV. There's no entertainment platform that Snoop has not touched. Right. He's been in gaming. He's been in games. His character has been in games. He's been in every
I think you got
outlet that you can think of.
You got to break down
books.
You got to break down the list, Chris, because we got to have a spitter list, and then you just got to have the rapper list because it's a spitter. Like you write,
there's definitely a spitter list. Where you know
my man Joe Budden was bodying shit.
Yeah,
Joe Budden had a
Joe Budden up there. And if you're talking just pure rapping, oh, that nigga Joe high up there, dog.
You know what I mean?
Shit, all the fucking slaughterhouses.
It's a lot of niggas. It's a lot of niggas that can just spit. But you know, if you go in the overall rapper and like you know, Don breaks it down where you talk about if people have ghostwriters, but that's even a different list. If we just go in rapper, that's where the Drakes and the Ye's and them niggas come into the argument. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're going into another stratosphere of what a rapper is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why to me, Jay, that's exactly, and that's why to me, Jay is number one. Yeah, because he is all of those things embodied in one artist. You know what I'm saying? I had somebody ask me like, why do I think so highly of him, or what has he done to be number one on the list?
You know what hasn't he done?
Everything
is the question. Because here's the thing, and I think that people fail to realize growth. Because like people got to understand that what Pusha T is doing, it's unheard of. Yeah. It's unheard of for somebody who you know ain't selling dope to be rapping about selling dope, and you still feel that shit in your chest. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not unheard of. You have to evolve. The reason why T.I. and Jeezy have been taking a dip in their music is because niggas like y'all niggas ain't trapping no more. Right, yeah. Like we know y'all ain't trapping. But it's like, but Pusha for some reason, like I said, kind of like how Snoop has this unlimited pass to smoke anywhere. You want to hear how Pusha gonna talk about dope? I'm like, fam, I want to hear how else he gonna talk about selling that girl and that boy? Like, how else he gonna talk about? Because it's like, yo, it's an art now. At this point, it's an art. Yeah. Like the way that he's doing it, nobody like he is top tier dope rapper.
For sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's the thing. So a lot of people is like, he's no longer talking about the stuff that he used to talk about, but he's still talking. He's talking about new stuff. He's talking about, and that's. Yeah. But see, that's the thing about Hov. Hov has always been a person that pushed the torch,
Afro tech.
But he's always been that. When Hov said we throwing throwbacks and we doing button ups, everybody went button up. when he said we off of auto-tune, even though auto-tune didn't go anywhere, for a moment, niggas was like, yeah, man, fuck auto-tune. Yeah. When he was like, you know what I'm saying, we ain't doing the Timbs no more. We know Hov is still rocking Timbs, but like Hov has always been that person to push it, right? So when he came out, even with, like I said, with 444, and when he started talking about business and you know what I'm saying, usually like you like, oh shit, you believe it. And he's doing it at a high level because you're like, okay, yeah, he's still talking about the shit he's doing. He's talking about his environment, and that's what makes Hov so dope because he's able to evolve with where he's at in life and still make it relevant.
If Hov is a basketball player, Hov is Michael Jordan.
Yep. I was just thinking of it.
So that's where we at with this, man. We gonna come back to the list, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, we got the homie in the building from Geek Set, man. Let us know what y'all got going on. This dude, if you don't know about this dude, let me just do this before he do his spiel. This nigga done interviewed everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's so dope to me because I don't know if people understand, but we're creatives. You know what I mean? We're independent creators. We're not signed like to no record deal. I'm signed, signed to Blackout. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not signed to nothing major. We're not on Revolt. We're not on MTV. We're not on Fuse. We're not on none of these major platforms. So for this dude to be interviewing people from Lovecraft Country and Atlanta and you know what I'm saying? Some of your favorite TV shows and movies, that's amazing to me. So if you want to understand another reason, not only is he an intelligent, smart brother and he my brother, why he's sitting in this chair, that's really why he's sitting in this chair. Yeah. Because this nigga's platform over the last 2 years has just blossomed into the most beautifulest thing that comes across my timeline every day. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate
before
that.
Before you leave, are we recasting Black Panther?
So I'm always this with it, you know what I'm saying? Because of knowing the comic book and because of knowing that, you know what I'm saying, T'Challa has so much more to accomplish, you know what I'm saying, on the big screen. I definitely do say we recast it. But like I said, Chadwick did so much to that role. Certain people become a role. And he became that role, but he also had the luxury of being the first on screen, right? So we're kind of like stuck to it. Like if they even though a lot of people feel like Tom Holland's the best Spider-Man, you know, so I agree, and I agree. If this was the end of the trilogy, and they was like, okay, we gotta get a new Spider-Man, the world ain't gonna blink. You know what I'm saying? The world didn't blink when Batman got recasted, and there was certain instances that people was like, "This is my Batman." No, this is my Batman, right? And so it happened. But when you're the one and only, it's harder like for that. You know what I'm saying? When Michael Keaton did Batman and everybody was like, yo, this is the best adaptation of Batman. When George Clooney did it, George Clooney was a top superstar, but people was like, nah, he ain't really Bruce. He ain't really Batman. You know what I'm saying? So when Bruce. Yeah, he was definitely Playboy Bruce, but it was like he didn't get that love that Keaton got, right? It didn't take until the Dark Knight series. So look how long that was for people to start saying, but there was a point before Michael Keaton took that role. People were like, fam, Adam West is my Batman. Like, how you gonna replace the GOAT Adam West, right? So it's like once you solidify something, it takes a while, right? And so because it was so quick, and we know that MCU and this storyline is still going, that's where people were like, I don't know. But again, knowing the comics is like, bro, we got to. There's so much story.
Let me say this, and I don't want nobody to take this from me, but when it comes to Marvel Comics and Black Panther in particular, fuck Chadwick.
I see exactly what you're saying. Because there's so much to the story that needs to be told.
Man, listen.
There's so much of the Wakanda.
Man,
listen. It's been more Batmans than Colonel Sanders.
Right.
Nigga.
T'Challa is so important.
So important.
He's the very first Black leader of the Avengers. He's married to Storm. He leads the richest country in Marvel Comics. He
has the richest element.
Yeah. He is everything that is Black excellence. And the fact that they want to not recast him is almost racist to me. It's saying that we don't need to recast him in order for us to tell a story. It's not that important. But if Robert Downey Jr. had died before Iron Man 3, they would have recasted Tony Stark because Tony Stark is too important.
I see what you're saying.
To the storyline.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
For sure.
I can't deal with anybody who doesn't understand that.
Well, see, that's why I said I'm always this. I understand it from a comic book fan such as yourself and myself. I 100% agree. We need to continue this storyline. There's so much that we didn't tap into with Wakanda, T'Challa, Storm, and everything like that. but I do also understand. Again, this is the
because
first. This is the first, and that's what it is.
Because there are so many casual fans who
the casual fans are loudest.
They don't understand.
They're the loudest.
They don't understand that it's Black Panther's not about the superhero Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
It's about T'Challa being the king of Wakanda and the Black Panther. So there's a lot of confusion there where they're like, oh, well, we bring back Killmonger, and Killmonger could be Black Panther. No, Killmonger can't fucking be Black Panther.
And he did. This ain't.
I mean, it's a comic book.
I mean, it's a
comic book. Ain't nobody ever.
Ain't nobody really ever really did.
I mean,
right.
But to me, it will.
But I get what you're saying.
But to me, it will fuck up the storyline.
Yeah.
It's
to me that wouldn't be.
MCU.
I mean, they want to put Shuri in the Black Panther suit.
Well, the way that they did,
fuck Shuri.
The way that they did, like, so if any comic book fan, once you start dabbling in multiverse, you open up the door to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
That's the smartest thing that any comic can do. So in the comic books, they did that, right? They did Flashpoint in DC, and then they did, like I said, the multiverse and everything, the House of M storyline. They dove into all of that. But once you open up that door, then it allows you to have these alternate versions, right? We never had it in movies. So it's foreign in movies. So in my head, I'm like, okay, before everything that has transpired in the last year, what we know about the multiverse, I was more heavy on like, no, I even though I love the comic books and I know what T'Challa brings, I was like, it's too soon. And I'm like, I don't know, like let's keep it, you know what I'm saying? We can go. But once they open up the multiverse, I was like, okay, now, because, and again, I'm thinking of storyline, the way that they set up the MCU, it would have been weird to recast it in it, just how they set up the MCU. I'm talking MCU specifically. But now that they open up the multiverse, they open up. Now my mind's open. I'm like, all right, y'all can do whatever. Y'all can really recast T'Challa, give a quick backstory. This is universe XY or universe whatever.
And then Idris do that.
T'Challa. Well, Idris already in it.
It's got to be.
Idris already in it.
Yeah.
It's got to be the one guy.
It's got to be David Washington. Yeah. It's got to be David.
Who Denzel Washington's son?
Yeah.
I can see that.
What about the nigga from Lovecraft Country? He can't do it.
He's Kane.
He's Kane.
He's the new big bad. Yeah, he's Kane the Conqueror.
Oh, he's the new bad guy.
Yeah, he Kane the Conqueror.
I'm gonna lay a theory on you before you give the information to get out of here. House of M already happened.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
You fuck with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird because I'm just like, damn, wait a minute, because like it's the point. It's that one point where like she takes over the world, and I'm like, okay, we've seen her do it for what's a Westview, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, all right. And like I said, they played everything with her kids and everything. So I was like, when I was watching it, I'm like, okay, this is definitely House of M-ish, but it was like there's a lot of elements that they wasn't able to touch because they didn't introduce mutants yet. They didn't introduce because they still haven't really even tapped in who her father is. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, but I feel like once we crack it open, I mean, we already got Jon Stewart in here. You know what I'm saying? Patrick. I said Jon Stewart, Patrick Stewart, in Doctor Strange. So I'm really more excited for Doctor Strange because I feel like it's going to kick open the door. This is going to be the first movie that really lets us know what the future is coming.
Do you understand what I'm saying about House of M already happened?
What about the mind control and Wanda taking over the...
She already said no more mutants in the MCU.
When?
We didn't see it. So the MCU...
That's why you saying that's why they're not saying
that's mutants. Why mutants don't exist in the MCU. Because she already said no more mutants.
But how they gonna pull it back?
What's
your theory?
So Doctor Strange is the reversing of that. So he's gonna find out about mutants and why mutants don't exist in the MCU.
It's gonna be
because Wanda already said no more mutants.
But what do you think led to that? What led to her saying that?
I think it happened with the Westview situation. So we saw a series of events told from her perspective.
Yeah, right.
Right? So everything that's happened in the MCU was told from Wanda Maximoff's perspective.
Talk about from Avenger on up? From Iron Man on up?
From fucking Captain America, the first Avenger, all the way up. You're seeing a series of events told from Wanda Maximoff's point of view. Because remember, if you remember the comic books, House of M ended with her saying no more
Yeah,
mutants.
yeah. I remember that.
So what I'm saying is that we're in the realm of from the end of House of M to the resolution of the mutant saga.
But I guess what I'm asking is what caused her to say, so in the comics, what caused her to say no more mutants was the death of her kids. So you're saying that has already, so we're going to
Westview. Westview is the point where she says no more mutants. But we don't get to see that because the story's being told from her perspective. That's my theory.
Okay. I'm listen, I hear you on it. I feel like it's a stretch, but I can see it.
It makes a lot of sense.
The only
because
chronologically is what's throwing me off is that, like, one, her relationship with Vision didn't come until he didn't come until Avengers 2.
Again, the whole story of the MCU is being told from her perspective. She's already deleted mutants.
So when do we get back to now? I guess then
we get back to now after the events of Doctor Strange.
Okay, all right. So I see what you're saying then. Okay, I get what you're saying now.
The way you retcon,
I get what you're saying now.
Okay,
I get what you're saying now. That would be wild because then that. So I always said, what if everything in the MCU turns out to be something else? Right, like this is not like we are watching it thinking like this is what's happening now and what's going through it. But what if it turns out to be something else? So in that spirit of it, like if they did that actually would be really cool. Though.
So before we get out of here, give people their handles where they can find your podcast.
All right, listen here, man. I'm part of the Geeked Up podcast, the only podcast that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together, man. You can find us on all social media platforms at Geeked Up Podcast. You can find me at young_deuces on all social media platforms. You know what I'm saying? We just put out the interview with Kadeem Hardison. That interview was really dope. And you know what I'm saying? The interview before that, which we made national news, was with Cedric Yarbo.
About the cancellation of
the Boondocks, and that was really dope, man. So you know what I'm saying?
Every fucking publication,
man.
Literally, Variety,
Complex,
Yahoo News,
Decider, like
anybody,
bro. It was on.
And what I thought was dope is that they gave y'all credit.
Man, they gave us. They said Geek Set or 101 with Deuces on there, like, and that was crazy because literally, bro. You know, these interviews started last year. At the beginning of March, the beginning of the pandemic, when the world shut down, I legit told Geek Set, I said, look, I don't want us to lose a step. We're doing this podcast already, but I also want to interview people. And I started that, and consistency, man, just continuously doing it. And one of the best things about these interviews is that when it's the 15, 20 minutes after the interview is done, I get a chance to just chop it up with the person. And like it's funny because like talking to these people, and you know they're like, yeah, you know, such and such was telling me about your podcast. So you know, when I heard about it, and I was like, yo, I definitely want to be on it. And I'm just like, yo, to me that means so much because it's like it's people talking about me when I'm not in the room.
Absolutely, right.
Like that to me, that's it's people of significance. You know what I'm saying, of this culture that is bringing my name up. You know what I'm saying. And I was like, and bringing Geek Set up. You know what I'm saying, when we're not around, and I think that's dope because it's letting us move. And
shout out to Geek Set for the bottle.
You know man, I told y'all, you know, anytime you invite me to a podcast, I'm bringing a bottle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is your house. You know what I'm saying? You don't come to our house without a gift.
Make sure y'all check the homie out, man. Tap in with him and Geek Set. Also tap in with me, Slicktalk with Scalez TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, like button, the whole nine. Also, shout out to my Twitter audience. Shout out to Facebook if you was tapped in with us. We will be back in the building this Thursday. We're going to have the homie Steve-O, Mr. Ricardo Moore, Mr. Trust Nobody, available on Amazon Prime right now. I'll be in the building, so I'll probably have a table full of fucking bottles on Thursday. We'll see y'all. We out. Peace.
Hey, who did your pieces?